Do you know where I just cringed? I asked him what his game plan was. I was like, oh, why'd you ask that? Why'd you ask that? Game plan was to win.
So we got, is that 165 pounds?
Yeah, so the 178 was scrap. We're at this 165 bout right now. Kevens Desroches versus Ralph Clemente.
As I look down to read the names.
Oh, these guys are throwing
here.
They're
slugging.
Yeah. I like but I don't like what Clemente's doing. You see him dropping his hands. He's doing that Dennis Bermudez style of defense. Good jab there.
Well, I mean, if you're going to drop your hands, your footwork has to be on point. You have to be in and out and fast.
Yeah. Well, no, he didn't get it. Did he get hit with anything?
No, I'm just saying he's...
You were defending yourself. I get that. And I've seen that in Dennis. You got great footwork.
Tell you what, both these guys are you know, it's the first round, first minute. These guys are throwing heat. They're trying to, you know, let the other guy know, hey, I'm here to fight.
Even like we saw with Velasquez in the last fight, he had 14 fights. So I almost wish I had the number of fights these guys have beforehand.
Right.
They wouldn't let me in the back locker room for the fights.
Oh, okay.
I would have asked these guys, how many fights do you have? Yeah. Where are you training out of? Blah, blah, blah.
I would imagine both these guys have over 10 fights.
Yes. Or close to. So what it is in amateur boxing is it's 8 and up, you're open class. 8 and under, you're novice.
Okay.
Yes, that's how it works. Because like I told you, I was trying to get Alex Borzel, my boy Space Monkey's son, to fight on this card, and they couldn't find a kid his size, his size pretty much, it doesn't matter age, his size in the amateur program that had under 8 fights.
So a little bit more...
Similar to, you know, Sarah Thomas? They couldn't find Sarah Thomas a fight.
Okay, she was supposed to fight on this?
Yeah. They couldn't find her a girl with that many fights her size. Because she's open class. She has more than 8 fights.
Okay.
But even it's crazy in a sense, like amateur boxing's nuts. But similar to UFC, like if you got the skills, you'll fight a guy. If you got 30 fights, you'll fight a guy with 10 fights. Amateur boxing, like you'll fight a guy with 100 fights and you only have 8 fights, you just make the cutoff.
These guys are still throwing
again,
fast and hard.
Kevens Desroches from Westbury Boxing Club versus Ralph Clemente, Atlantic Veterans Memorial. That almost sounded like the name of the Nassau Coliseum, so I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I did a double take when I read it.
Clemente with the double jab, overhands. These two gentlemen are doing a sprint essentially right now.
Both of these guys work out.
That was a very entertaining first round so far. That's the one thing I like about smaller guy versus heavyweights is the amount of volume they throw.
We have the Westbury Boxing Club again. He's got Keith Trimble in his corner. But he does have a boxing club shirt on, so I don't know what's going on there.
Maybe he comes to get some sparring, I would imagine.
And like something I learned from doing this and trying to help Tony book some fights, there's only so many boxing gyms on Long Island. There's only like 19 in Nassau and Suffolk County, sanctioned under USA Boxing.
Got you.
Round 2. You want to do a round 3? Let's go. No?
Oh, I mean, if
just go The Rock and be like, round 3.
Alright, sure. Check Cook from Desroches.
Man, he sent that right hand from his hip right there.
Yeah, and the thing is, he didn't bring his back foot up with him, and he overextended himself.
Yeah, he's lucky he didn't get countered there. A little bit of a slip there.
Looked like a slip on Clemente there. He stepped in very hard to try and land that right hand. Desroches just got warned for a back fist.
He threw a back fist?
He threw a jab and missed, and then his guy was still kind of there. He tried to back fist him. In MMA, that's legal.
Well, that's even like I was going to say, like, you know those moments in boxing when it's like, oh, is that a glancing blow or a slip? You capitalize. In MMA, you dropped him.
I just heard Desroches' corner just yell, relax, because he's throwing very, very wild and big.
Relax, they said, yes.
It's a very common thing to get hit and then just wind up from the hip and try to deliver it back.
Try to get that get back, yes.
Yeah. There's a lot of times the guy's already out of there.
So again, we have Desroches in the red and we have Ralph Clemente in the blue. Ooh.
Both guys ripping the body.
Good body shot there. He's looking for that liver.
Still, these guys are kind of sticking in the pocket.
Menace.
So one thing that Clemente is doing a little bit better than Desroches is he's initiating the strikes and then he's leaving.
Yes.
Whereas Desroches when he initiates his strikes, he stays there and wants to keep banging.
Clemente's a little more in and out, yes. And so me on the outside, something I always look for in a boxer is like no homo, defined shoulders. You know, like those defined traps, defined shoulders. I can see Clemente, like you see right there, doing a good job of avoiding, shaking his head no, and then coming back with a combination. Oh. Desroches is a little bit wilder. I would almost say maybe a little bit less experienced.
He gave a little stinky leg right there. Desroches. Clemente kind of walked into that right hand.
Yeah.
This is a fun fight right here.
I was going to say, this is a tough fight to score. So now, have you ever trained at any just straight boxing gyms in your day?
Yeah.
Where'd you go?
I went to, it was called Long Island Boxing. It was a non-profit boxing gym. It was in Deer Park.
And what is this, when you first got to Long Island?
Before I was training at Long Island MMA, yeah, that's where I was. I did a little bit of boxing there.
A little bit of striking.
Yeah, it was across the street from PC Richardson in Deer Park.
Okay.
By the Tanger Outlets.
Not open anymore.
No.
Or they moved.
Not open anymore.
Yeah.
And that's where I met.
Yeah, hit him with a round 3.
Herman. Right now?
Right when he says go.
Round 3.
That was nasty.
It's like Mortal Kombat.
Clemente doing a little bit.
Clemente coming out hard this round.
He tries to keep his range a little longer. And he also goes 2 to the head, body, and he likes to finish with the head as he leaves.
I mean, you know how we talk about this all the time, like judging the body. Clemente looks like the bigger guy.
I agree.
Or at least more muscle, a little more solid, but Desroches is hanging in there.
Well, Desroches is definitely throwing bigger strikes, but he's not always landing them.
And I got to give credit to Clemente. He's covering up well. Everything Desroches throws, he's hitting his arm, he's hitting the shoulder.
I feel like Clemente is kind of getting into his groove a little bit in terms of, like, now he feels like he's in the gym kind of just working out, you know? Where in the beginning, tensions are high, both guys are looking for, you know, they're feeling very strong, they're not fatigued, they're looking for that big one-hitter quitter, you know? So guys in the first round are a little bit more wild and out of control than they are in the third round.
I mean, you know, from fighting professionally, it's a fine line between I want to get this guy out in the first round versus all right, we're in here for the whole bout.
Well, yeah. Well, there's that, and then there's also like when a guy attacks you wild, you want to defend yourself. So if you hit him with like just a jab, they're trying to knock you out. So you have to give them something to respect back.
Yeah. Good right hand there from Desroches. Couple body shots there from Clemente.
This is a very, very close fight, I think. Both guys have had about equal time in the center of the ring.
Yeah, if you're scoring the center of the ring, I mean, Desroches has had the center of the ring most of this fight.
For sure, he is definitely the aggressor.
And like, you know me, I almost want to say it, but I don't want to say it. I'm wondering how. No, I'm not gonna say it.
Whoa!
Good left hand
with a big check hook. 10 seconds left. These guys are gonna empty the tank right here.
That was always one of my favorites. Like, I know, like you like to lead. I was a counter fighter, so a check hook was one of my favorite things.
Yeah.
What I was gonna say. You know Medicine the Man. If you guys ever follow us, Medicine the Man show. They have a very attractive judge across the ring from us. Did you not notice that?
I did. I did.
Oof.